About 40,000 times per second. That's how often you, me, and the rest of the world combined uses this little search bar.
I use Google for researching the meaning of words that are really hard to pronounce.
I would use Google to learn about forces on Earth, and I would also learn what animals have brains.
I usually Google recipes because I like to cook, and funny videos of people being silly. Like people that have a cat and then they put their cat in a t-shirt.
Okay, our searches aren't always that serious, but more than 90% of Australians online have come to depend on Google to help us to find out about, well, pretty much everything. So what would happen if we couldn't use this anymore? Well, that's a question a lot of Australians have been asking lately, probably on Google. You see, Google's threatening to stop Aussies from Googling. It's all because of a new set of rules the Australian government wants to bring in, which would make Google and Facebook pay to show people news. It's something that news organisations have called for. You see, a lot of them are struggling to make money, and they say it's not fair that big tech companies get to display their work for free and make a profit in the process. But these two disagree and say they're actually helping the news organisations by pointing people to their websites. Google also says the new laws could actually mess with how search works.
The News Media Bargaining Code would break how Google search works in Australia. Now, I know that sounds pretty full on, but it's true.
But wait, how does search work anyway? There are hundreds of billions of web pages out there, right? Well, a search engine takes all of that information and sorts it, a bit like a library does. Except this library is bigger than all of the world's libraries put together. It then uses algorithms, which are like rules a computer can be programmed to follow to help it solve problems, to sort through that library to find the most relevant, useful results for what you're looking for. Of course, it all happens in a fraction of a second. But like I said earlier, Google isn't the only one that can do this. In fact, back in the 1990s when the internet really became a thing, people didn't Google things. They searched using all sorts of search engines, like Yahoo, Alta Vista, or this weird thing called Ask Jeeves. Anyway, then Google came along with an algorithm that ranked results by popularity and took over the world. Google is obviously free and it benefits a lot of businesses. But it also makes a lot of money, mainly through ads that are targeted at you and what you search for. So back to those laws. Google reckons if news organisations start charging to display results, other companies could follow, and we could end up with a search engine that displays the wealthiest web pages, not the best ones. As a compromise, Google's offered to pay news companies to feature stories on a special news platform, but some of them say that's not enough. Meanwhile, the government says it's committed to the new laws and has been talking to Google about working things out.
What they recognise is there is a need to pay for content, and I think they also recognise that maybe some of the threats have been misplaced.
And hey, if our Googling days ever did come to an end, there are other options out there. Or it might even be time for a new search engine to step in. Ask Amelia has a good ring to it.